Welcome to Banished. This is one of my favorite games. A little colony simulator, but really fun. It was apparently created by a single developer in 2014, and I've been playing it for a few years, actually, quite a few years now. And I'd like to share that with you. So let's get going and play Banished. Let's create a new game here. Um, okay, let's call our towns. Let's see what we can find here for a time name that seems appropriate. Sir, that's kind of Borden. All right, that's not bad. Um, Terrain type. So you can either pick valleys or mountains. There is a little more build area in the valleys than mountains. So I usually go for valleys. Terrain size, I like large because it's again build bigger cities. Climate, I prefer the harsh climate because it gives it a little more challenge. But if soft, you can use mild. That's fine. I'll go with harsh. Disasters, let's turn them on, make it a little more interesting. And starting conditions, well, starting conditions, I always go for hard because then it kind of gives it a little more challenge when you play. All right, let's start. Little guy hitting a rock with an axe, planting seedlings, casting shadows. All right. Okay, so this is the start condition of the game. Let's take a look. So I paused it for now and we shall. Okay, so this is the very minimal UI here on the bottom. And let's look at the map. So this is the mini map that kind of shows you the overview of the whole map. And as you can see, each Banish game has like a river that runs the whole length of the map. And that's important because this is where you're gonna be able to trade on this river. And so you should really start your colony somewhere close to or the main river. Like the smaller river doesn't really count, or the lakes, unless the lakes are connected to the main river. So you always want here, just and then usually it spawns close to the main river. And your starting conditions, you have some number of settlers and storage card with your tools, your clothing, firewood, and some potatoes for food. So that's kind of like the starting conditions. And now I like to set up all the little uh, tabs to kind of show what the game has. So first is the general statistics here of your village. So that's your name. You have 11 settlers or citizens, as they're called here. You have 8 adults, 0 students, and 3 children. And then you have your all the stuff you have in the card. That's the only thing you have right now. So you have your firewood, your potatoes, your total food, you have your tools, and then you have your clothing, and then you have your average health of the all the citizens here in these hearts, and then average happiness, and then your current kind of weather, which is like your temperature, which kind of gets more important when the seasons change. So right now it's early spring, so you have all of spring and summer and then fall to kind of get ready for the winter because this game does have seasons and the temperatures drop significantly in the winter, especially in the harsh climate that we picked here. Okay, so let's keep going here. What else we have? This is the event log that basically if something happens that's important, the game will tell us. And then this is the professions that are in the game. So currently nobody has any professions. Everybody's a laborer. So your adults are the ones you can pick out of. The kids you can. There's no slave. There's no children labor here. So slave labor or anything like that. So okay, and then these are your resource limits. So I like to organize them here on the left here. So your resource limits is basically you can set how many, how much of each resource you want to collect. Okay, these are like the main tabs here. So I like to keep the map on the side here so we can see where we are. Okay, so to get started, we need to find a piece of land that we can basically harvest for our resources. So there's not too many options. On the other side, it looks a lot better, but kind of we can't get there until we build a bridge. So we will start here. So the first thing we do, so all these tabs are represent the different aspects of the game. And here you have basically housing, roads and bridges and tunnels. Here is storage and like trade and stuff like that. Here is your town services. This is food production buildings. This is resource production buildings. And then this is like the how you can assign what resources get removed, what resources don't get removed. You can cancel resources, delete buildings if you want. So all of that happens here. And then options, cape. So we'll start with a building that I like to start with, which is a forest lodge. Now, a forest lodge is a building that maintains a forest, basically. And why it's important? Well, because at the beginning of a harsh map, you can't really do any farming. You will be eventually, once you start trading, you can trade for seeds, but initially you don't have any seeds, so you have to kind of be a hunter-gatherer type of situation. So you will start with a forest lodge because forest lodge um, basically creates a forest that where the food will spawn and then animals will come. If it's not maintained, then it doesn't work really well. So that's why I tend to start with a forest lodge. So we're gonna this yellow line kind of shows you the perimeter of this building that it basically whenever there's a worker in this building, which is a forester, then they basically will control and they'll go around and they will, remove resources that are not necessary in this forest lodge area, like say stone and metal, but they will plant trees and then will cut down trees sometimes to collect some wood for you. But okay, so this is pretty good spot here to place it. Like obviously in some areas you can't place it. You see how it like on a little hill you can't place it, so you have to place it on a flat area. So we're gonna place it somewhere right here. Okay, and now we have so this is our area, and generally what I do is like I tend to leave this area for the all the buildings that are important to collect resources from the forest, and I don't build any other structures here except for a road. And a road is important because it makes the settlers move faster. So it saves you a lot of time on stuff. So we're gonna build a road. Well, actually, what I like to do is keep this on so I can see where things end. So I'm gonna build a road here. And you can build like rows like they are straight, but you can also build rows like this if you think that works better. For now, I think that works really good here. So I'm gonna place that, and then we're gonna. I'm also gonna place a bit more road here. So this is kind of like this is gonna be our main little village area for the start, and this is gonna be like the resource gathering area. So once we assign a builder, the builder will build the road, and then the workers can travel faster between this area and the other and the main forest area. So now what I like to put is a stockpile. Now a stockpile will collect like bulk resources. So bulk resources like stone, metal, and wood and firewood will be collected on at the stockpile. And also later in the game there is coal. that can be stored there. But all the other like manufactured resources will be stored in this cart, or you can also build a storage barn, which is one of these. But we don't need to waste time on that right now. We're gonna focus on building um, kind of the getting our food first, because these 1,200 potatoes are going to run out pretty quick here. And we also have to build shelter for our guys before the winter starts. So we have to make sure we have enough housing for everybody. We have enough um, basically food for them and firewood so they don't freeze to death and die in the winter. Okay, so that's kind of like the priority. So right now everybody is homeless. So I have this little home icon, which is okay for now. That's not too bad at the start. It's really bad when it's wintertime because they all freeze and it's not good. Okay, so let's start. So we have kind of placed our road here, and once I like start the game, they will start like removing resources from this area to build the road, and also they will start working on this forest lodge. So first they always remove the resources, and okay, this I gotta speed up this game a little bit because it's at one speed is really slow. So I always play it around two times speed. So now we will assign some workers, and workers will build our roads, and laborers will collect resources and remove resources from where we want. So we're also gonna place that stockpile here, and um, let's make it 5 by 5. Yeah, that's adequate. So that's good. So okay, and they will start working. They will start removing these resources. And now I also want to remove all the resources from this area here. So you can click this icon here, and you can say select everything you want to get rid of, and they will go and do that. So we need a bunch of resources to build all these buildings we need. So definitely have to get rid of this. And eventually we'll remove all the stone from this area because we don't really, it interferes with the plants growing, and so it's better to remove them. So right now we see how they're removing all the items that were in this little spot, and they're also building the little road. And then yeah, so that's they're working on that right now. Um, and you see how they're placing the big items here. So we have collected some wood and some stone, and based on our forest lodge, we need 32 forest or logs and 12 stone to get this building going. So um, once they, oh, it says we have logs in low, obviously, because we don't have enough to build this building, and we don't have enough stone to build this building. So once they collect enough stone and collect enough wood, they will start placing the resources here. Well, they already started whatever we have, and they will also start collecting these resources here. Oh, we see there's a little deer here. So these are the ones that once you build another building, so once you start collecting food from this area, which I will do shortly, and once we build the forest lodge, I kind of like to do it one at a time. You don't have to. You can like collect. You can select a building. So this is a gathering hut, which is like it collects basically food that is gathered in this area, and so we will place it in the same kind of area here. It's probably the next building we're gonna build, but we're gonna pause it because we're gonna focus on this one. This one's kind of important to have a steady supply of wood for all of our needs, which is probably the most used resource in the whole game, which is wood and I guess food as well. So periodically they will be working here, going around, and then at some point they'll get hungry and they'll go to the cart and get some food. And also as they're working, they are using up resources, so they eventually will run out of tools. And if you run out of tools, they won't be able to do any work. So you always have to keep an eye on these tools. Now, like this are the resource limits here, but 50 tools in the beginning is a little much. I was like 20, and for clothing too, so they don't go crazy on building too many tools. Don't really need to. Everything else is okay because we won't need all the other stuff for a while. So okay, so now they're starting to construct. So the builders, I have two of them right now. They will be constructing this building. Once we have it constructed, I'll assign a forester or two to work, and the forester will basically maintain this area. Well, they will slowly remove all the rock here, and they will gather wood from mature trees, and they'll plant new saplings. So eventually, after a while, this entire area is going to be covered in forest. And the more forest you have, the more food it's going to produce, and the more animals will like to show up here, so they could be, hunted down for food and also for leather or textiles. It's not textiles, leather. Yeah, animals don't create textiles. I guess. Well, I mean, sheep do eventually, but we need to get sheep first. We don't have sheep at this moment. But yeah, so they've collected quite a bit of resources now from this area, and you have 64 wood, 36 stone. We don't have any metal yet, which is not good because eventually we're gonna need metal. So I'm gonna assign them to collect. Oh, they're almost done. So now I will assign a forester. Let's assign, yeah, one for now. That's fine. So one forester, and the one forester will collect all these. They will basically, you can select what you want. You can basically tell them, okay, you want to just cut down the forest if you want. I don't know why anybody wants that, but you also want to plant. So you can disable these things if you want, but you shouldn't really. This is a good. It's good for it to continue. Okay, so now we have enough resources to build the gathering hut, and we're also gonna collect some iron, which is important for us in a little while. To I'm just also gonna scan this whole area, see if there's any iron, just stone. So, but we can also let the laborers collect the stone. So let's do that, and they can kind of clean up this area faster for the gatherers. Then the gatherers can uh, collect all the resources that we need. So, okay, so these guys keep collecting stuff into our little pile. And our resources, see how our food is already dropping. Sometimes this game is called Starving Simulator because it's very easy to get everybody to starve and then they all die very quickly. It's the first time when I started playing this game, this would happen all the time. It's getting frustrating, but you kind of learn how to prevent this. You just have to keep an eye on as the colony grows. You just have to keep adding more food areas. It's really kind of important because you will starve very quickly. Okay, so these guys are almost done. So all these things get done in sequence. So when you select this area, then they will collect these resources first before they continue to collect this resource and then all the other resource. There's a sequence, but you can change that sequence if you just say increase priority. So for example, I want them to focus on building this forestry, this gathering hut. So I'm gonna select this area and this in red here and tell them I want you to focus on this. And eventually they will start prioritizing this area. They will go in here and it will like remove all the trees in this area so they can put this building in here. So that's kind of how that works. That's kind of important part of the game, this priority, because sometimes you'd be like, I really need them to work on this because I'm running out of food. Like you see, the food is really dwindling pretty fast. So I'm gonna add another builder here just so we can get this done faster. But laborers are quite important because they will collect all the resources. They will move resources around. Um, yeah, they are important. So now we are starting to collect some metal and iron. I mean iron. Eventually we'll need iron to make some more tools, but once we that's a little bit later in the game. Once we get this going. So we see now we're in early summer, so seasons are slowly changing and the winter is fast approaching. We don't really want to run out of time here, and hopefully they'll get on the start hurrying the hell up a little bit. So what's going on? Come on, guys, get this going. They're really taking their time. Let's increase priority a little more here because they're not really focused on this. Starving Simulator fights back. Dun. Okay, we can like turn that off. So, but eventually I will build some housing here. Oh, we can. Let's remove this. This harvest this tree. It's not really important here. Okay, okay. It's still taking their sweet time here. Okay, they're finally. It looks like they're finally bringing all their resources here, which is good because we're going to start making food soon before we starve. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Maybe. That's all right. That's fine. Okay, maybe while they're doing that, we're gonna put some houses. See where we want them. So I like to keep this line as like this is the line where I don't want to build any houses because I want to keep as much of this territory for resource production. So I will pin this back and I will see where my houses are. So there's like several different types of houses. Like the wooden house is the cheapest to make, was the least amount of resources, but it consumes a lot more firewood than say a stone house. But you see, you can way more resources required. So I tend to start with the regular house. So let's see, where's a good spot to place it so we have space for stuff later on. Here is all right. I'm gonna pause it. Generally, in the beginning, you need about 4 houses to house everybody. So I generally build 4 in the beginning, and that's enough. Sometimes you need 5, but usually 4 is enough. So I will pause this, and you see they're starting to actually construct this gathering hut now. Okay. Let's build some. Let's get some food. Oh my god, it's already 8:11. It's a little slow. I could speed up the game, but I kind of like this slow pace. It's, it's more relaxing. More relaxing. This is not ideal because there's like little mountains here. This is not going to be a really efficient food production here, but we'll see how these little trees will start growing in this area because they will actually. Oh, look out! They're done. Okay, so I'm going to assign a couple of gatherers here. Let's do 3 just because we need. We really. Oh, we got another labor. So when kids turn 10 in this game, they become laborers, so they can use them in labor force. So I guess there is child labor in this game, but whatever. Okay, so they're building this. Next, I'm gonna pause this. Let's see. Should we build the houses now? We're still in the summer. Should be okay. Let's build another food production, which is the hunting lodge. So a hunting lodge is basically where they hunt animals. So eventually, if there's no animals there right now, they will show up once you build the lodge. Let's see what's a good, nice. Just maybe something like this. Probably good. Okay, that's acceptable. All right, let's build and I'll also increase priority on this thing. Increase priority. We're also gonna build a road here around the lodge so people can have access. there's another building you can build for this area, and that is a herbalist. And the herbalist will collect herbs, and they use them to stay healthy. So right now, the average health you see is slowly decreasing because they don't have any housing, and they're not, I guess, as comfortable exposed to the elements. But if you build a herbalist, then they will basically collect herbs in this area, and they will be able to use the herbs to get better. And eventually, I believe when you build a hospital, they use the herbs in the hospital to make you feel to recover from illnesses. Because this game also has illness, so if somebody gets sick, say with pneumonia or something, and it spreads around, and then everybody's sick, then the mortality rate can kill everybody pretty fast as well. So that's a thing to keep an eye on. Okay, so they're building this hunting cabin for me, and we're now in late summer, so we're still pretty safe, but kind of get things going here. So they're obviously building this hunting cabin here. That's good. Okay, so eventually I think we'll have to expand this area. So generally at the start of the game, and especially if you play on the hard setting, I create these little zones. So I will make this one zone here, and then maybe I'll build another one here, or maybe I'll build a bridge and build one here. We'll see. But one is usually not enough to keep the citizens growing or your city growing. So you have multiple ones. This one has more forest already, so maybe I'll do over there. We can kind of plan around. And also for food, if you can also build another one right away, which is a fishing dock. So which all you need is like a river or a lake, and you can produce fish, which is a quick way to make food as well if you want. So in the production building, you will have a like an information pane, I guess. So here in every season, you'll see how much this building has produced. So it's produced 30 logs and 2 iron. Previous season there was nothing because the building didn't exist. And for here, you can see we're already producing food, and our food is going up slowly, which is nice. So we have onions, mushrooms, roots, and berries. That's what the gatherers produce. And then, okay, now our hunting cabin will start being built right now, which is nice. And then once this is built, I'll probably just build the houses here because I'm kind of running out of time. Like we have a perfect amount of stone to build 4 houses, and we have enough forest. And we're also gonna need to build another production building to make firewood, and that is here. And this is the woodcutter. The woodcutter is important because without a woodcutter, you don't have firewood. So maybe we'll build them closer to this area here. So I generally like to build, so they will bring the wood here from here because that's the only place they can store it. And all the gatherers, they'll basically walk around this pattern. So there is a tool in this game called the paths. So here, click on it. Let's see. Click on that. Will it work? Or you have to actually have a houses built first. Okay, maybe it doesn't work without the houses. Okay, first I have to build the houses. It's weird. Never noticed that before. Okay, so this is almost done. Then we're gonna assign some hunters to this. See, they already almost removed this metal here, which is nice. And then they're gonna keep basically removing the stone. And okay, so now we have hunting cabin built. So we're gonna assign 2 hunters. Oh, okay. See little animals walking around, so that's nice. Okay, so now we can start building the houses. So, and then we'll increase priority. I'll actually start just unlock all of them. I don't care, just like get all of them going. This is the number one priority now. Build my houses before we freeze to death. Now the hunting for food is kind of a hit or miss, so sometimes they're not as stable, but they will also produce some hide for eventually you're gonna need it for your clothing. So the clothing is important in the game too because it keeps the little settlers warm in the winter, and if they don't have clothing, they will eventually feel sick and die or survive. Hopefully. Okay, so we got one of our homes built. So once the home is built, they will settlers will move into the house and they will actually take some of the food from storage and they will bring it in, and also they'll take firewood from storage and they'll bring it in their house. So it's like a hoarder, a little hoarder, stealing all your food and all your firewood. So that okay, so now right away this family is assigned to this home. So you got a hunter, um, gatherer, and a child. So a child is at 8, so at 10 there'll be another worker I can use, which is great. And if you see, they already put firewood in here, so they don't get cold because the temperature is actually pretty low. It's 0 degrees Celsius, so it's pretty cold for autumn, but that's because I picked the harsh climate condition. So once that is done, oh, I got another laborer, so that's good. I don't know, that was a while ago, I guess. Yeah, that was a while ago. I'm not paying attention. Oh, we see now it's cold already. Like, oh my God, it's not even winter yet. Look, it's already snowing. Like, this is insane. Okay, I'm gonna put another freaking builder here. Like, hurry the hell up. Don't freeze. Don't freeze. Come on, come on. I'm panicking here a little bit because this is this is kind of funny. Come on, come on. Hopefully it still warms up. Like, come on, this is insane. Okay, I'm gonna pause this because I don't want to go crazy, but I do need to build a. Okay, let's do this right. So I'm gonna pin this so I know where the edge of this territory is, and I'm gonna build a. Yeah, that's fine here. I'm gonna build a woodcutter because that's pretty key for us as well. Hopefully they'll. I just want everybody to be a worker. Okay, I'm gonna bring one, but no, I only have one. I'm gonna reduce this. I don't need too many hunters for now. Oh, they hunted. Got leather and venison. Great. So it's working. It's good. We have got 2 families in already, so that's good. So the third one's almost done. Okay, so just one more. Kind of took my sweet time here. It's not as good, not ideal. Hopefully, oh yeah, firewood's low. Well, yeah, I know, because they're all burning it right now. All right. Come on, come on. It's not stressful at all. Not stressful at all. Just you can do it. Shit. Okay, I guess I need to build another house. So this sucks. Okay, so I will put it right here. But now we don't have. This is not good. Hopefully nobody gets cold. Everybody stay cool, but not too cool. Come on, you can do it. So this little icon means they're cold because they don't have any firewood to burn because they stole everything. Like the hoarders they are. Like, why do you need so much firewood? Why are you so like? Look at this. This one has 20. This one has 40. Like, you just stole half the firewood we have. Like, crazy. You don't. Why can't you just share? Give 20 here. Give 20 here. No, no. You gotta take everything. All right. So, okay, we're now in winter. Okay. Oh my god. Come on, come on. Hurry up. Build something. Okay, maybe I'll. Yeah, that's fine. This is fine. Mhm. This winter started way too early. Like, usually it's not that early, but it happens. Fortunately, it's the way this game is. Just fun, but stressful sometimes. Hit or miss. Okay, finally build this freaking house. Come on, come on. And these are gonna be instantly freezing as well when you build it because there's no firewood. That's why we need the wood cutter. Come on, wood cutter. Okay. Oh, well, what do you know? They're not cold instantly. I'm wrong. Okay, well now we can focus on the wood cutter. Come on. Get some firewood going. Oh, oh, look at that. What do you know? Okay, let's increase priority on this baby here. Build needs. Build needs. I don't need so many workers right now. Come on, come on. Oh, reservoir stone is low. Yeah, I know, I know. There's lots of stone. You just have to collect it. It takes time. Okay, good. We're building, we're building. Not good yet, but hopefully soon we'll get it going. So once this is built, I will assign a woodcutter, and then it's going to be a little bit easier because then we'll have some firewood going, which is nice. The food is still around 1,000. That's acceptable for now. It's kind of low for Banished. The higher the food, there's no such thing as too much food in Banished. It just goes so fast. Okay. They're building real fast. Okay, now boom, make me some firewood. So eventually, once the woodcutter starts making the firewood, oh, none of their kids are old. Oh, great. Okay, so Okay, they've been collecting the wood. Okay, the next problem is those tools. So you see, we only have 7 tools left, and eventually, basically, when they run out of tools, they won't do any work. They won't collect any resources. It's over. So what I need to do again is build something that will make us more tools, and that is a blacksmith. And blacksmith can go. Okay, I like to keep this line so I don't accidentally build in that area, which is not gonna be good for me. Okay, well, first I'm gonna build a road because I can do it. I'll build a road around these houses so they can walk around. The road here too, and here. Okay, so we can see. Okay, now we'll put a blacksmith here somewhere. Oh, that's not bad. That's pretty good. And we'll also build a road here. Yeah. But you will see them once they hit the roads, they go faster. And it helps. Oh, this one's not cold anymore. That's good. What else we got here? So, okay, we have one. This is like an adult here, even though they're only 10. But so when you have adults, you can build another house, and the adult will move to the new house. But so right now we only have one female. So we need to wait until we have a adult male, so we can have like I guess a family unit or something. But right now we don't really have any, so it doesn't really make sense to put this female anywhere else. So we'll just wait for that. So now we see we're collecting some firewood. We got everything. This is okay. This is a little bit easier, but we're also gonna start running out of these clothes because we're gonna have kids growing. So now we have 11 adults and 3 kids. Um, we need to have another building that makes some clothes. So, and that is a tailor. Now, a tailor, similar to blacksmith, can build, but it's not as big of a priority as the tool. So we're gonna. It also takes a lot of stone to build it. So we're just gonna pause on that for now, but eventually we'll build it. Oh, I guess we can just drop it in here for now and just pause it. Pause construction. So we're gonna put it here. It's not enough space here. Let's see. Maybe here. That's not too bad. Pause that. Build the road. And also, we're gonna eventually run out of space for storage. See how the inventory here is 71% full, so eventually they'll actually collect enough stuff that it will be full, and then they'll just pile stuff on the floor here. So we're actually gonna need to build a storage barn, which is here, and we're gonna put it that is it's not bad here. Like ideally, I would put it here eventually, but I don't want to remove this because once you remove it, they won't have access to the resources stored. I guess I can put it here for now. It's not the worst place, but I'm gonna pause that right now too because I want them to focus on this first. Build me the blacksmith before we run out of tools. Oh, it's early spring again, so we survived the first year, which is awesome. So far, nobody died, thank God. But yeah, so the way the game works, so when you have a family unit eventually, and they're happy enough, healthy enough, they will have children, and these children grow up and then they'll become adults, and then you can build more buildings to have more workers, and just cycle continues. So right now these children are very young here because they literally just started. So this this one's like auto one out, which is not going to be good, but it's not very efficient, but that's fine for now. So let's build this blacksmith. And also, I want to build a herbalist because that's gonna be important for us, so we don't die from disease. All right, here, that's fine, acceptable. Also gonna build a road. This road go forward. Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. For later on, that's good. So that's here. Go up here. All right. So that's good. We have built a, or just pause. I like to kind of place the buildings and pause them so that kind of know where things are gonna go. And also not ideal here. I want to put some roads in around because they actually work faster on those roads. There we go. We can put something else here, like but try to keep it away from this area because you don't wanna kind of see how these trees are slowly growing here, which is nice, and they keep removing all these materials from here, which is also nice. Um, but we kind of need them to focus on that. So I don't need more than two. So usually the game will estimate how many builders you need, and right now okay, you see our food numbers are dwindling again. So we're gonna increase our amount of gatherers we have, and maybe put another hunter. Well, let's just wait for now. We'll build a fishery instead. Yeah, that's probably a better thing for us. So fishery can go. It's kind of a pain in the ass sometimes to place them. You also want to have as much water in this area. So if you had like a place, let's see, where's something like that. If you had okay, let's go here. Okay, so if you could place it in this area, say you see a lot more water around you in this circle, which means they'll collect more resources, which is nice, but doesn't really help us right now because we are here. But just a good thing to know. Same principle as this little circle, the yellow circle of control, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Okay, so fishery. Fishery. We can. Okay, we really need to get going on this. This is important. So I gotta start already running out of tools, kind of focusing on stuff I don't really matter. Build stuff. Where? Start panic again. Don't want to run out of stuff. Gonna drop my firewood to 100 max because they'll keep cutting, just burn up through more of my logs, and I need a lot of them for construction. Oh, now so whenever you have this symbol, it means there's enough resources already produced. So this woodcutter is free to be a laborer. So even though they're a woodcutter, but now they have become a laborer. You can't see it here, but they are actually behaving like a laborer. And once the amount drops below the demand, they will go back to being a woodcutter and they will cut more wood. But right now they're helping me actually just collect all the resources around. So some of these buildings, like for example, a herbalist, they will collect the 100 or whatever herbs they need, and then they'll just the symbol is there almost all the time because the consumption of the resource is so low that it doesn't really matter. But okay, so right now, slowly building this. It's not so, it's kind of slow. Again, we're gonna need a lot more wood here. Uh, Maybe we'll assign another forester so that the speed of their work will increase and they will plant more trees and they'll also cut down more trees at the same time. So once there's trees, you can kind of see around the trees. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's actual resources around the trees, the food that kind of pops up, and that's where the gatherers will collect. And if it's no trees, there's no resources. So if you put it like a gatherer in like a barren spot, they won't collect anything, so it's useless. Okay, we're building our good, so we can start to build our tools, which is important because we're almost out. That's not good. Come on. Okay. Then you'll have this little tool icon on people, and it's like, oh, I don't have a tools. I can't do anything. I'm useless. Nah. All right. Hopefully that doesn't happen. No, we should be fine. We're almost done. So far we're pretty good. We're low. We need more wood, so definitely gonna need to collect somewhere. So I'll collect this because it's pretty accessible here. So let's go to our resource, collect some wood outside the circle, which is nice. Okay, and now we're gonna assign a blacksmith. And so even though we don't have any laborers right now, we definitely have one because the woodcutter is acting like a laborer. So it's nice, but we can remove one of the workers and builders and make them a laborer because we're not really building anything right now, so it's not really important. But let's see. So how's our kids doing? So the kids are slowly growing, so eventually we have, I mean, we can put another house if we want, but it's not necessary right now. What's priority next? Next priority would be, I think it would be to build the storage barn. Storage barn is kind of key. We're also going to increase priority on collecting this resource here because we need these. We need this wood collected. We also don't want them to go too far because it takes forever because they have to like walk over there, collect the wood, come back and store it, and then they have to go get food and stuff. So it takes forever. And we're also gonna need to we need all of this here too. Like so, collect, remove all resources from here. So we need that. Yeah, we definitely need that. Let's select it. Okay, so this is all good. We could build a road technically over there. That way they move a little faster. You see how like there's a little mountain here, so the road will naturally go around the mountain. I'll just pause it here. That should be okay. Okay. Doing good. We're doing good. Okay, we haven't died in. And the citizens will naturally age, and then they will die, hopefully of natural causes. And you have to so in this game you have to build a cemetery, and a cemetery basically lets you like just put basically bury people there when they die, and then they, if they die and there's nowhere to bury them, then the happiness of the citizens will drop. But if you have a cemetery, then you see the cemetery will gradually fill up with your guess once they hit in their 60s, 70s, that's when they slowly, move on. But we're still good, so we don't really need to work on that. But what's important is eventually also keep an eye on that food, make sure it doesn't drop too much. But also, if we have too much, then they'll fill this one up, which is also not good. So, but now, you see we're building some iron tools. Eventually, when you have coal, you can build steel tools, which basically just last longer, which is great. Okay, so we have some storage, so I think we're almost good to build this barn. So let's do this. So I want up to build this barn now because our storage is gonna run out. So barn is important, even though I mean we should really build the tailor too. But I mean I only have so much stuff. I mean eventually once they collect this, um, it's also kind of like when you start in a hard setting, you don't have too many people to do all the work. So you have to be strategic on how you divvy up the resources. So maybe I'll drop one of these guys down, and that should be okay. Get another laborer here, because they're the ones that collect all the resources. I see they collected all this, that's good. I mean, I definitely need more, so maybe I'll tell them, hey, collect. Increase priority on this too. Yeah, increase priority. Oh, no. Yeah, is that? Yeah, let's see. Yeah, collect this. This is important. I need all this. Just do it a couple times. Just to be safe. You know what they're doing. And we're in late summer, so we still got time before winter hits. And so now we actually, in order to make some garments for them for clothing, you need to have some like a fabric or textile. So we have some. Our hunters have gathered some leather, so potentially we can make 12 new garments eventually once we have the tailor running. And of course they're not using the road, because why use the road? Like, even though it's faster. But no, this is more important. This is faster, I guess. But sometimes they do use a road, and eventually you can update it to a stone road, and they go even faster, which is great. But it uses up a lot of stone, which I don't have. I need to build all these buildings. So. It looks like they're actually gathering the food here as well. That's nice. So they actually collect the when you select remove all resources, they actually remove all the mushrooms and all the herbs, and I don't know what do they collect again? They collect roots, onions, mushrooms, and berries. Okay. The food is a little low. Not good. Okay. Maybe I need to build my fishing dock. Fishing dock is a nice way to get food. Looks like it's so maybe we'll pause this for now and say build this, because I'm gonna starve and I don't want to starve. No starving today or yet tomorrow. So let's do this. You build me the this guy. Let's collect stuff. It's the same season. Okay, we're now fall. That's all right. Okay, we're good for now. We're good. Got our food. We got clothing is kind of running out, but I think once we have enough, oh, we're fully out of. Great. We don't have. Used up all the logs again. Great. It's never enough logs. Never enough logs for anything. Hmm, let's see, our children are growing. This kind of, if we had another adult here, we can get another family going. But right now, it's not an option. So it's useless. Well, maybe we'll build one eventually. But once these other ones grow up, once they hit 10, then we can use them and as laborers, and we can also start new families, which kind of grows the community, which is what we want. As long as we have enough food for everybody, we see how this is slowly filling up, which is also not good. Like we also need this, and but the food's kind of low, so it's better to have this as well. So, but anyways, well, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. And see how our little trees are growing more here now, and they're almost done removing all the rocks here, which is nice. And we're also low on the metal, so but you see our blacksmith has reached the 22 limit, so now he's a laborer. He's being a laborer, and that's good because which means we have 4 laborers working right now, and that's good. We always need laborers. Laborers are like the backbone of this game. Without the laborers, yeah, we got nothing. And welcome to early winter and in the fall. Look at that. It's freezing temperature again. Maybe I should have picked a easier climate. Meh, whatever. But anyway, so kind of like the overall goal was we're building this main little village here. Kind of we're developing this area. Like eventually, once we build our kind of supporting facilities here, maybe we'll build another area here, or maybe we'll build a bridge um, and kind of start one here. Same idea. Maybe here. This is nice. I kind of like to have no mountains around. That way, it's more efficient, produces more resources. But it's okay. It's whatever. Um, so once this guy is done, we can unlock this, so this one can keep going as well. So the laborers will actually put all the resources there before the builders will start building. Not quite sure if the builders also move resources. I don't know. I haven't. I should look that up. Oh, this is almost done. Okay, so we're gonna have a food source, which is good. So we're gonna assign a fisherman, and you can see you can assign it from here or here. So you can have maximum of 4 right now because that's how many. You can increase that number. You can actually put even more per building if you want. But right now, I think that's for now. It'll be a good start. So eventually they'll collect some fish, and every season they'll get better collecting fish, and we collect more and more fish. And you generally that's how it goes. So and you can see same here goes here. Like you see like last season. Well, actually no, because this is current season. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like eventually this current season will go probably even higher than the previous season, but we'll see. Um, so now we have fishery, and then they're going to be working on this once we have enough. We have enough wood now. That's good, and because they're collecting this, that's important. Um, then we're going to need to eventually. Um, think we should build our herbalist next because you never know if somebody's gonna get sick. See, eventually, like if you don't have the herbalist, these numbers will like drop, and they'll potentially get sick and get like an infectious disease going, and everybody has it in the village. But I don't have a hospital to treat it, which is not good. Or you know, But we can eventually build a hospital once we think is necessary. So it's a hospital, which quite look how much 78 stone to build this hospital. So, but we're gonna keep it as is right now. Okay, so we're building the storage barn because this other thing is almost full. And we have enough resources to build. Oh, we need more. What? We need more metal too. Okay, let's maybe tell them to collect the metal here. Yeah, need the metal. Without the metal, we can't have tools and also collect this metal. Yeah, so anytime you select for resource to be harvested, there's like these little icons around them. And you can select which ones you want. You can pick you can either do all of them at once, or you can do just the trees, the rocks, and collect iron. You can also remove buildings if you want. So say like you don't want like eventually when we build this, we might remove this cart and then because we don't really need it, and we can use this to remove the building. You can also remove roads if you don't want the roads. If you like say, oh, it's not in the right place, remove the roads, and you can also cancel removal. So like if you like, oh, I want to cancel removing these resources, so just select them, boom. But I actually need them, so yes, collect the resources, please. Thank you. So let's increase priority on this. Like, there's kind of slow. They're slow on this because everything's in sequence. So when you started it, when you placed this building down, that's where like that's the whatever the sequence of the activities in the whole village is what they do. That's what they will focus on. Okay, let's check our. See now our food has jumped significantly because now we have. Yeah, it hasn't really produced a lot, but eventually it'll produce a lot. The fishery is usually a pretty sure way to make the food. If you're like really dire and you're running out of food, the fastest way is just put a couple more fisheries, like not next to each other, just away from their like zone of control, and that way you can get the maximum food because there's gonna be times when you're like the population is exploding, and you're definitely gonna need more stuff. So I only have one. Let's increase the. Okay, so we have other laborers like we don't really have too many. Everybody's doing stuff, but I want this build, so I want the two builders to work on that. So build me build me the storage barn because I don't want the. Oh, you see now it's full capacity. There you go. Storage production. Storage is storage for produced goods is near capacity. It's at capacity. So now, like if they're gonna bring food, they're gonna bring stuff here. They're just gonna drop it around it. So it's not good. So this is important. So build this, please. Thank you. Things are moving along. Not doing pretty good. Let's see. So what is kind of big picture stuff here? Sometimes you can experiment. Like let's say forestry here. I think that's a good spot here. It's pretty close to the buildings, so we can. And then it's around this. We can build a couple of houses here, maybe. That way they don't have to go too far to come here. Firewood is low. Okay, so now we have the farm. Okay, so now they'll be able to put stuff here as well, which is nice. But they still choose to go to this one because it's closer. But if it's full, then no, no. You see, I gotta put it here anyways. Like, come on, man. Like, I build you a whole new storage facility. Like, dude, don't just drop it on the ground. Like, you lazy bastard. Like, come on. Oh, there you go. There you go. Okay, now we're using. All right. So now we got that. Okay, let's maybe build our tailor next because we're gonna need it. Let's do the tailor. We have enough resources to build it. Okay, let's go. So, but right now I'm gonna just have one builder. I don't know if that's really necessary. Like maybe they're just laborers if they're not actually building stuff. That's probably what it is. But I don't know. Just the way I do it. So it's nice to have these production buildings close to the storage because then they can just produce it and then store it and then go home. So like all these is very efficient. Okay, so now we have homes built. We can show you the paths. So the paths will this is the workers that live here. So one of them is a gatherer, one of them is a forester or no, a hunter. So this is where this is how far they go. So this person clearly does not use the road. Like, no, 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 why use the road? Go. What about this one? These two, you see, one of them is a woodcutter and the other one is works somewhere here. This one look very efficient, like which means they can do more work because they don't have to travel as far. Now you could put buildings here, but like it also limits the amount of space for resources. So I tend to like to build it outside this area of control. And then there's another one. So they see these guys have pretty long paths, so not as efficient. But this one's pretty good. Like this one goes, see, just right here. Which is he a builder? Yeah, it's a builder. So builder will basically. And once you say you build another like construction or resource collecting harvester building here, then and you drop a house here, you build a house, then they will sometimes move to these houses to be more like closer to their work, pretty much. So they're to make it as I guess as efficient, so they don't have to travel as far, which is nice. But kind of the main goal for us in this diff difficulty is to build a trading post. Now, the trading post will allow us to trade and to get stuff that we don't currently have, which is we don't have any seeds for farming. So if say we want to build a farm or a crop field, which is just like a big circular thing, we can't really plant anything there because we don't have any seeds. So we have to trade for them. So, but in order to trade, you have to build a trading post, and that's probably going to be like one of the next things we're going to build as well. And because if we don't have trading port, we can have farming and we can't have animal husbandry. And so, or we also can't build any orchards for like fruits and nuts. So, and those are like the big producers of food. So eventually, when you have a big population, this kind of system is very difficult to sustain. You need to have farming, you need to have animal husbandry to produce enough resources. And like for example, when you have animal husbandry, in order to create a better clothing, there's different levels of clothing. Like just like there's like two different kinds of tools. Like there's iron tools and there's steel tools. Well, there's like I think three different style of clothing. There's one that's made out of leather, one that's made out of wool, and then one that's made out of both. And like the one that's made out of both is the best. So it keeps them warm and happy. So in order to have that kind of clothing, you need wool and you need leather. So minimum you're gonna need to have a hunting cabin, and you're gonna need a pasture with sheep in it. So, but you can also have pasture with cows, and you can get leather from cows as well. And you can also have chickens in your pasture, but you have to actually get those. You have to trade for those animals. So even if you build a pasture right now, like you won't be able to grow anything or raise any animals. So it's kind of useless. Before we build an actual trading post, this is important. This is actually not a bad place to put it. Like, kind of don't want to build it in the influence of this. Let's see, that's not too bad. That way we can leave the space for more buildings. And also, we're close to everything here. It's not bad. I mean, I can build it here. It's fine. Don't have to be super like. That's a good place to put it. So I'm gonna put it here and pause it for now, because it also needs a lot of resources in order to build this. And then you need to have something to trade, and that's its own problem. So let's just finish building this. Let's add another builder because we have all these extra people doing stuff. So let's build this a little faster, then we can get some clothing made. But generally, I guess because we don't have too much population growth right now, it's not good. Like usually it's a little faster than this, but so if they're 5 and 6, it's gonna take some time for them to actually grow. Then we can build some more buildings and have more workers, which is great. But right now our food is pretty good. We're above 1,000, and they still prefer to use the closest one, so everybody's using it. We have a pretty good collection of leather, so once this is built, we're gonna be able to make some garments, which is good. So let's finish that up, get that going. They're actually pretty much done collecting. Okay, they're still need to collect the iron here. Still, well, another child was born. So usually there's the, I guess because I don't have the herbs. If I put the herbalist, I think the their child rate would be faster. Almost there. All right. So now we have the tailor, and see there's options. You can make a hide coat, wood coat, and then a warm coat, which is like the best one. But in order to make that, you need leather and wool, and I only have leather right now, so we're just gonna put hide coat, and they will eventually make us some hides. Let's build a house. Feel like, oh wait, no, let's just build one. Okay, this is all flat, so it's good. But if it's not flat, you can't really build here, so it's kind of fortunate. But okay, let's build it here. Let's have them build another house. Maybe this sometimes this if I, it would sometimes this person would move out and they will have a kid. Anyways, don't know how it works, but It's just sometimes it does that. Plus, once you if you remove the adults from this family, there's more kids that will actually be born because there is, I guess, less pressure. But yeah, let's do that. And also I want them to build a herbalist too. That's kind of thing. So we're doing good so far. Um, Definitely, we need a lot of iron for this and a lot of stone. Now, you might ask, okay, so eventually you're gonna burn through all your resources here, like for your iron and your rocks. What are you gonna do then? Well, there's other buildings that actually generate a larger amount of iron. So a mine could be placed in these mountains, like generally like this. Like you can put a mountain, you can put a mine here, you can put a mine like here or here, and they will basically they will produce either iron or coal. And there is a quarry, and the quarry is where you quarry stone. So it's a pretty large little area. And then you'll assign a lot of workers into the quarry, and they will basically mine stone for you. Quarry is quite dangerous. I've noticed that the game really likes to kill off people in the quarry, like a lot. So luckily we never had any deaths yet. That's nice. Because usually there's like, oh, because we don't have a quarry. If we had a quarry, somebody would be killed by a rock like instantly, 100%. Like, oh. But so far we're good. Like our age is still pretty young. We're still good in our age. So we're nowhere near to 60, and our health is still okay, which is good. I guess because everybody has a warm home, so that's pretty good, and they have food. But we just once we build the herbalist is going to be even better, and then everybody seems to be happy, so that's good. Um, it's pretty warm today, 33 degrees Celsius. Um, this is kind of like the next priority too. Everything's priority. We should also build a bridge here so we have access to this. And while they're doing that, I'm gonna build a road here. Maybe the bridge would be here somewhere. Let's see. It's not bad. Yeah, we can put a bridge here. I'm gonna pause the bridge too. I don't need it right now, but I will need it eventually. So that way we have access to this whole area, which is pretty nice. Because for me to extend it over here, like they need to travel like really far. Like it's not really efficient unless I build a whole other like area with all the production area. But this is a great area to expand to eventually because has a lot of flat land. So maybe I'm kind of once we build this and we want to expand, like have like a more like a city center with all their different like things. So kind of in the future in this game, once you play it for a little longer and you have more resources, you can build like things like you can build a school, and a school will basically once kids turn 10, instead of becoming adults, they become students and they study in the school and they become, I guess, more efficient at whatever job they do. And we can build a hospital so basically if somebody gets sick, they go to the hospital. There's less chances of disease spreading and killing everybody. And then there's a city hall. It tracks. It will They will kind of track all the stats for your village. And also later in the game, they have these groups of nomads that will join your. You can actually they will come to your village and to your city hall and ask to join your village, and you can say yes or no, which so they will like jump your population by like 50 at a time, which is crazy. And then there's a chapel, which makes people happy. And you can build a cemetery, which once people are a little older, you can build, and also makes them happy. Because if you don't have a cemetery, they'll be sad and depressed that you know their loved ones are gone. Okay, so now see how much fish we're making right now. It's pretty low. There's only one guy. That's all right. Let's see. You can also click on each settler and you can see all the stats. Like you see what they have in their inventory, like firewood and like their age. The clothing is okay. Iron tools. Educated? No. Okay, so if they were educated, they'd be a lot more efficient in their job. Well, that's good. We have enough tools, and then building our. What about our home? Slowly building it. Our people are getting a little older now, so we're almost about to get four, almost get five new workers, which is great. That way we can put them in homes, and they'll have their own kids, and we can start growing our population a little bit because it's pretty stagnant, fortunately. Things take forever if there's not enough people to do all the work, so it's like real life. But yeah, not a bad start. Kind of slow, but you can see how now this whole area has filled up quite a bit with the trees now, and this also makes it more productive in terms of collecting, gathering stuff. So these guys will collect more. You can see how now we're making the 400s each season, which is nice, and then technically make more leather also per season and venison, which is good. So that's how you basically have this little area of production of like a basically like a little hunter gatherer little area with and then see the little animals will show up eventually to an area. Sometimes they migrate. I wish I had more people to assign because this is kind of slow, but it's okay. I'm gonna have to get this. Maybe I'll take one of the gatherers away. No, 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 that's not what I want. Yes, this one. Yes, and I'll assign them to be a herbalist once this is built. We have pretty good with food. It's pretty good for our. So we've doubled our food almost, which is good. And more some late summer. That's late. I almost never read this except if somebody's like dies or something. All right, now we have our herbalist. So now it will collect some herbs, and if somebody's feeling sick, they'll eat some herbs, and they'll feel better. Hopefully, we'll gain back our little heart here. So I think the healthier they are, the more birth rate there is, which is kind of what we want. Um, but yeah, we're almost there. We're about to kind of grow our village, which is nice. But I think I think that's it. I'm gonna stop here for now because it's been quite the journey so far. But thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue in another one. Continue our little building our little Borden over here. Hopefully, we'll get this area expanded and get our trading post built so we can get the trading people to show up on their little boats and offer us some stuff for sale, and we can sell stuff for them too. And yeah, so thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one.